My name is Anna. I'm 38 years old, and I have been married for 16 years to a man who never said, I love you, not even once. Not on our wedding day, not on my birthday, not when our son was born. Never. But let me tell you our story. Maybe then you'll understand why I stayed. I met David when I was 22. He was quiet, simple. He didn't talk much, but he always showed up. He was never late. He remembered little things, like how I took my tea, no sugar, just lemon. He wasn't charming or funny, but he made me feel safe. I liked that. We got married after only 1 year. I wore a simple white dress. He wore a navy blue suit. He didn't say much during the ceremony, just looked at me, softly, like he was trying to remember every second. I waited for him to say something later that night, but he didn't, just smiled, kissed my forehead, and said, You must be tired. Sleep well. At first, I thought maybe he was shy. Or maybe he would say it later. After our first year, or maybe on our anniversary, or after our first fight, or when I was sick. But no, he never said it. Instead, he did other things. He fixed the door when it broke. He drove me to the doctor when I had the flu. He made tea when I stayed up late with our baby, Leo. So I thought, maybe that's love too. But after 10 years, I started to feel something inside me breaking. I was tired of giving, tired of waiting, tired of wondering. I watched other couples hold hands, laugh, say I love you so easily. I never heard it, not even once. I once asked softly, David, why don't you ever say it? He looked surprised, then said, You already know how I feel. Why do I have to say it? I smiled, but something in me cracked. I started to feel alone, even in my own home, even with the man I had loved for years. But I didn't leave, because David wasn't cruel. He wasn't cold. He just kept everything inside. I tried to be patient. I cooked his favorite meals. I made sure Leo had everything he needed. I stayed home when David worked late. I waited, year after year. But the silence between us grew louder. One evening, on our 15th anniversary, I made a small dinner, just the 3 of us. David came home tired. He looked at the table, saw the candles, the cake, and asked, What's the occasion? My heart dropped. It's our anniversary, I said. He blinked. Oh, then sat down. Didn't say anything else. That night, after putting Leo to bed, I cried in the kitchen. loudly, just quiet tears, the kind that fall without asking. The next morning, David said he had to go away for work. 3 days. Business trip. I said okay. He kissed Leo on the inside was a tape recorder and 5 cassette tapes, each with a date written in small, neat letters. I sat down, pressed play, and then I heard David's voice, but not the voice I knew, not the short, tired answers, not the small nods or simple yes or no. It was soft, almost trembling. Today is our first anniversary. Anna made soup, my favorite. She looked tired. I wanted to tell her she's amazing, but the words wouldn't come out. I pressed stop. My hands were shaking. I played the next one. It's Leo's first day at school. She packed his bag with care, kissed his forehead. I wanted to tell her she's a wonderful mother, but I just said, "Don't be late." Tears fell on my lap. I covered my mouth, kept listening, tape after tape. She looked sad today, maybe because I forgot something. I saw the candles. Oh God, it's our anniversary. Why do I always freeze? She deserves more. On the last tape, his voice was slow. If you ever hear this, I want you to know I love you. I always have, even when I didn't say it, even when I didn't show it. I'm sorry. I just never learned how to speak love out loud. I sat there in the quiet room, listening to nothing. I looked at the tapes, touched them gently, like holding pieces of his heart. Then I noticed something else in the box, a small notebook, worn with bent pages. I opened it, and there it was, a list titled Things I Love About Anna, page after page, one sentence each. The way she laughs at bad jokes, how she always gives Leo the bigger slice, when she sings while washing dishes, her tired eyes when she stays up late for us, her hands soft but strong. She never gives up, even when I do. She stayed, she stayed, she stayed. I closed the notebook, held it against my chest, and cried, not because I was sad, but because I was loved, truly, silently, all along. When David came back, I didn't say anything. I just made tea. We sat together on the porch, watching Leo play in the garden. And for the first time in a long time, I felt warm, not because of the sun, but because the silence between us finally made sense. A few days later, I placed the tapes back in the drawer with a note that said, "I heard you. Thank you for loving me in your way." That evening, David didn't say anything, but when I walked into the kitchen, a single yellow flower sat in a cup. Next to it, a new cassette. No label, I pressed play. Anna, I bought this flower today. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm learning. Maybe because I want to try. I might never say it perfectly, but I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. He repeated it 3 times, like he was making up for all the years. And suddenly, I didn't feel invisible anymore. Some people